Good day guys, Mark here again and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, you love cars, DIYs and anything car related, please consider subscribing and check out my playlist. Okay, so for our video for today, I'm gonna share with you on how to clean your caliper pin. So the reason why you wanna clean your caliper pin is this is most of the time creates an irritating sound each time you hit on the brakes. Especially it's very noticeable if you're running at a low speed, or even if you're about to go on a full stop. You'll sometimes hear um, a cracking noise, or even it's actually similar to a worn out CV joint and a shock mount. So it's very similar, so you might want to try this out guys if you're experiencing that issue, and hopefully this will fix the problem. So for this DIY guys, all you need to have is your jack, and if you have a jack stand, that would be better, and also a size 12 millimeter socket wrench, and a brake fluid, and your cleaning materials. If you do have a brake cleaner, that would be much faster. I've done this on the passenger side, so I'm gonna do the driver side this time. This is really easy to do, and also what do you call this, a size 21 tie wrench, and also so for me, I don't have any brake cleaners as of the moment, so I'm just gonna use some dishwashing liquid and an abrasive sponge. Okay,
12 seconds later.
alright guys, so first thing you want to do is loose your bolts on your stud bolts for your tires. So you'll need a size 21 tire wrench. Yeah. So sometimes, so we call this issue your caliper pin, or the sticky caliper pin. So the reason why is because in time, even though it is covered with a dust boot, it actually picks up dust, especially that is coming from your the brake brake pads themselves. Okay, so after losing the stud bolts, so prepare your jack. Okay, so I'm using a piece of wood to equally distribute the weight of the car, and this makes it much safer, because this helps also your jack. So make sure that you place your jack on the proper jacking points on the frame, on the chassis. Okay, that's just about right. And okay, just making sure. So each time you lift the car guys, make sure you place it on first gear and handbrake is engaged, and each time you do this, make sure you're on a level surface. Okay.
stand up to get more leverage. There we go. Okay, so stud bolts are out rather. So if you're gonna do this, you might want to clean the brakes themselves. Okay, so place the mags underneath the car. This is actually an extra layer of safety, just in case your jack fail and you don't have a jack stand. This would be much easier. So now it's time to remove the caliper, and I'm gonna clean the brakes as well. So you'll need to have the size 12 millimeter socket wrench. Loose. Okay, that's out. And time to remove the pads. Okay, I'm gonna clean the brake pads first, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to fix the sticky caliper pin problem. Okay, so just give me a few minutes, guys.
Eventually.
Alright guys, so just finished cleaning the brake pads. Okay, so as you can see, so they're already clean. So I'm just gonna clean the caliper itself. And okay, so this is how you expose the caliper pin. All you need to do is just lift up the caliper and then just pull it out. Okay, and let me just place this guy here, and this would be your caliper pin. So sometimes dust and other debris gets stuck there and causes the caliper to not freely move inwards and outwards. So each time you press on the brakes, what happens is, instead of the caliper moving freely, it gets stuck at one point and then makes that knocking sound, and then the caliper the caliper itself will move. Like, so what happens, let's say your calipers is in here, you press on the brake, instead of the caliper moving freely, what happens is it gets stuck at one point, and then it creates a click, and then that's the time it moves. Okay, so this is actually fairly clean. So the other side is really dirty. So it's also perfect time for you to inspect the dust boot for any damages. If you see any visible damage, please replace it. Okay, so for me, I'm just gonna use some dishwashing liquid and an abrasive sponge. Okay, so this is how I'll clean it. Okay. So to remove the debris and other stuff that might make your caliper pin really sticky. So if you do have a brake cleaner, that would be much faster. All right, so that's done. I'm just gonna rinse it off and lubricate it. I'm gonna show it to you guys in a bit. So to lubricate the caliper pin, you just need a small amount of brake and clutch fluid. Okay, you just need to make sure that everything is covered, lubricated. So you'll visibly see how much the caliper travels. You see that white mark? Alright, so I think that's done. Let me just wipe my hands clean and return the caliper like that, and make sure that you put back the dust boot. There's like a lip right around the caliper pin, so make sure that it's in there. There we go. Okay, so after that, and also guys, just a piece of advice: each time you put back the return spring, put a small amount of grease in here so that the caliper can move, or rather the brake pads can move freely. Okay, so I do have a grease, so good grease that you can use a high temp grease or a silicone based grease. Okay,
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
all right, so I'm already returning the springs on the brake assembly. So I'm gonna put some decent amount of grease there. That's actually the to help the brake pads move freely. And the other one. Wipe off your hands with any grease, because we don't want to put grease on the brake pads themselves. There we go. It's as easy as 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And also clean the bowl and put some grease. Perfect. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's done. And basically what I'm about to do, guys, is just return the tires, and that's it. So just return the tire. Okay. So try this out, guys, especially the grease part. Believe me, that sometimes will save you a lot of money, because the sound it produces, it's really similar with a worn out wall joint or CV joint, and worn out, what do you call this, a worn out shock mount. Alright, so I'm just gonna lower down the car and tighten the stud bolts. Alright, so that's it for our DIYs for today, guys. If you have done this for yourself, please give me a feedback on the comment section below. I would really love to hear from you guys. Again, this is Mark. Thank you so much for joining me today, and see you guys on our next video.